Slow. Hey, everyone.
Hi.
You just make me happy just to look at you. As promised, I am here with the amazing Holly Dayle. Welcome, Holly Dayle.
Thank you so much. So happy to be here.
We're so happy to have you. So, I asked this incredible young artist to join us literally out of the blue. The interwebs are an amazing thing. Because she appeared in my feed and I listened, and she's so extraordinarily talented, but she's more than talented. She's also, well, we'll talk more about this, Holly, if you will, but I feel like there's such a dark shadow over the music industry, and she's just like
Mhm.
this beautiful ray of sunshine, this uplifting. There's something about her music, as you will hear, that's incredibly uplifting. So just before I introduce you to her more, Holly Dayle, if you don't know her, maybe you already do. Holly Dayle is a talented Christian artist, singer, and songwriter. Her music is inspired by her faith, and her goal is to honor God and encourage people through her music. She's active in her church community, leading worship and enjoying Bible studies with her friends and family. Holly comes from a close-knit family, with her sister being her best friend. She's comfortable in elegant, classy, and casual environments. I love that. Enjoying musicals, jazz concerts, CCM concerts, art festivals, and the great outdoors. She loves to travel and have adventures, from backcountry camping to hiking. Holly's dream is to sing with her band at such iconic and beautiful venues as the Red Rocks Amphitheater in Colorado and the Gorge Amphitheater in Washington State. With her passion for music and her unwavering faith, Holly is a rising star in the Christian music world, bringing hope and inspiration to those who hear her music.
Yay.
Yay.
Yep.
Well, let's just jump right in.
Mm.
Holly, what got you started? How did you begin singing? How did you realize you had a gift? Talk to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So for me, I have an absolutely lovely family. My father and mother noticed that I had a desire to sing when I was young. So they
Mhm.
put me into some voice lessons. And through that, I was able to meet some really cool people. Some of them were from the Metropolitan Opera House, and others were from the Santa Fe Opera House. And I studied under them for a while.
So
But I
you've
think,
so let me just jump in there. Sorry to
yeah,
interrupt, but I will
no.
from time to time, if you don't
Mhm.
mind. You've had training. I don't want to say as an opera singer, but operatic training.
Yes, yeah, I figured for me it would make sense to kind of, study under opera so I can learn certain techniques,
Mhm.
like how to keep the longevity of my voice. That was something that I knew opera singers were really good at. So I was like, "Okay, well, let me study what they're able to do to be able to obtain that so I can use
Mhm.
it in my own music." So,
Right.
yeah.
Wow. Well, that explains a lot, I think,
Mhm, mhm,
because your voice is, I don't know how to put it. Like, I'm kind of musically illiterate, I
mm,
confess.
mhm.
There's so much music I love, but I never learned how to understand what I was listening to. But
Mm,
your
mhm.
voice is beautifully, like, trained. It seems
Oh,
like you
thank
really understand it as
you.
an instrument. But keep going. Then what happened?
Yeah, so after I'd studied with them for a little while, I had the opportunity to go to kind of like a music camp
Mhm.
at one of the future colleges that I ended up going to. And in that experience, they had an audition to kind of sing like one line or two lines in like this orchestra song that they were going to be performing at the end of the camp. And so
Mhm.
I was nervous. I was 17. I was young. I went up there and I was like, well, I've done some opera stuff before. I would love to be able to do this one line. And so through that, I got it, which was really cool. And the night of the performance, it was such an amazing experience. Whenever I was on stage and they opened with like the one line and the orchestra just kind of started, I think in that moment was the moment I knew I wanted to do it like full
Wow.
time, not just as a hobby,
Right.
because there was just this incredible sense of community I'd never experienced before,
Mhm.
where everybody was being a part of this amazing thing that we were doing. So
Wow.
that was just kind of when I knew for sure. I was like, "Yeah, this is what I wanna do for a living." So,
It
yeah.
sounds incredible, Holly.
Mm.
What was the line? I mean, does it make
Oh my
make
gosh.
sense on the spot?
Oh, man. I cannot remember the song to save my
That's
life, but it was in
okay.
English, so
But it
yeah.
was very, amazing and uplifting for you to have the is it
Yes.
was it the experience of the audience or the orchestra or the whole
Yeah.
magic of it together? What was
I
it?
think it probably was the magic of all of it together. Being on stage, probably partly the adrenaline because 'cause I'd never been in that like big of an audience before.
Mhm. Mhm.
But also the experiences leading up to that really made it feel like a team effort. And I love that everybody was doing it together and everybody was like applauding each other at the end, like, y'all did so great. So yeah.
That is that is amazing. So keep going. Then what? I mean, you're still very young, so this
Mhm.
almost happened not so long ago. Then
Yeah. Mhm. Let's see. Okay, so then after that, I went into college and I got up to my associate's degree and I was studying music theory, I was studying music production, and that was when I was having a chat with my vocal teacher or professor at the time. Her name was Dr. Gibbs, very sweet.
Mhm.
So she had given me one of the most amazing compliments that I'd ever received, because I really looked up to her. She was really awesome. But toward the end of that, she was like, you know, Holly, I have like one more thing to teach you, and then I kind of don't know what to do after that. And then I
Wow.
was like, are you serious? And she's like, honestly, and I don't say this, but I feel like if you wanted to, you were like met ready, which is like a huge compliment to receive. And I was just
For
super
many
touched
artists.
by that. Yeah. And so from there, I was kind of at a crossroads. I was like, okay, well, now what do I do? Do I keep going? Do I finish my degree? Or maybe I should just kind of like jump into the music industry from like
Yeah,
right now. Because
yeah,
partly I was thinking, I was like, do I need a degree to kind of do what I'm doing? You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I was like, I think I could kind of use the rest of my savings to kind of push it toward, developing my own career. So that's kind of the process where I'm at now. Uh,
Oh,
is I'm, reaching out to different people, trying to grow like my following and that sort of thing, and grow a sense of community and write music and all that. So yeah.
amazing. So another thing I love about you is how entrepreneurial you seem to be. Like I do see that
Yeah.
you built your own website and you're
Mhm.
not waiting to be, created by a producer. You're producing
Mhm.
yourself, you're creating yourself,
Yeah. Mhm.
you're creating your own email list, which is very entrepreneurial and valuable.
Thank you.
And you're just bringing your music out to the world. So how do you do that? Like walk us through a typical day in the life of Holly Dayle producing your beautiful music.
Yeah, absolutely. So, kind of the first thing I do in the morning is I have coffee. I am Cuban, so I normally have like cafe bustelo right in the morning with a little bit of milk. Absolutely delicious.
Mm.
And then after that, I like to go through kind of social media, just kind of see what's happening, what people are talking about.
Mhm.
And then after that, I go through and I typically plan my day based off of kind of like songs that I'm wanting to sing, and then also preparing for like mini concerts and live streams and that sort of thing. And then
What
also,
are mini concerts? Is that a digital thing that I don't
mhm.
even understand or know
Yeah,
about?
no, it's okay. So basically what I do is I'll go through and I'll live stream
Mhm.
and I'll kind of talk with my audience and be like, okay, guys, we're going to have a special live stream, which basically means I'm going to be kind of setting up my room in a different way. So it kind of looks a little bit more like a stage. And we'll go through and we'll talk about what kind of songs we'd like to do. Like, let's see, a jazz concert. I did a Disney concert not too long ago. We did a Christmas concert this year, which was fun.
And is
Uh,
that you singing
mhm.
all the songs or and the audience just ask basically it's like a command performance almost, right? So
Yes.
we
Yeah. Mhm.
want you Disney songs, we want you to do Christmas songs. That's so fantastic.
Yes, it's so much fun. So yeah, we'll go through and we'll talk
Did you
about.
invent that genre or are other artists and singers doing that with their audiences? Kind of genius, kind of like
Yeah.
one of those like obvious ideas in retrospect, but I've never heard of it.
Right. You know what? I'm pretty sure other people have done it, but I think in the format I'm doing it, I definitely had to trial and error myself to figure out what exactly would work with my audience. But yeah, no, it's been super fun to be able to do concerts and talk with people. Yeah.
Amazing. So people who follow you get an alert that there's gonna
Mhm.
be a concert and that they can actually
Mhm.
ask what do you do if some people want Christmas music and other people want, folk rock or rock and roll or classic?
Yeah. So typically what I'll do is before the actual like concert stream, I'll have a few streams before that. And what we'll do is I'll have the audience vote. Okay, guys, do you like this
Ah,
song or do you like this song? And so
wow.
then they'll tell me and I'll put it in the list. And then sometimes what I'll have is my subscribers over on X. They can
Mhm.
actually contribute to like the order. And if they have special request songs, I can put that into it. And then comes the day of the performance.
I
So
love it. And are you I mean, you don't have to give me the details, but is this a way that young artists can support themselves,
Yes,
directing their audience?
yes, absolutely, absolutely. So for me, that has been a development that I'm so honored and blessed to have, that on X, I've been able to be monetized and have subscribers, and that definitely pulls in a decent income for me, which is awesome.
Isn't that amazing? And so you get to, have your own self-presentation. Someone
Mhm.
is telling you, do this, do that, and
Yeah.
you get to get rid of the middleman, basically,
Mhm.
which causes,
Yes.
I mean, they're genius producers, but
Mhm.
the history of music is littered with predatory producers
Yes,
as
that's true.
well, or
Yeah.
people who take great talents like yours and redirect them.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
so let me ask you about that. Your genre, you describe yourself as a Christian musician in the world of Christian music. I'm
Mhm.
not Christian, and I love your music.
Mhm.
I mean, I would talk more about why you chose, like, but you don't limit yourself to Christian music, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
tell me what that label means for you. Does it mean that you wouldn't sing, a classic rock song, or there's some music you don't do, or some music you prefer to do, or is it
Hmm.
about, I guess what I'm trying to say is, when you say you're a Christian musician, does it
Mhm.
mean that you do Christian music, or that you are a Christian musician who does all kinds of music?
Yeah, so I guess I would say I'm like a Christian musician in the sense of I do all kinds of music, but just in my core, I am, a Christian. So there's certain songs that I probably wouldn't sing, you know what I mean, that have like certain context and that sort of thing. But no, yeah, I mean, I love all kinds of music. So I don't just like do only one type, if that makes sense.
I
Um,
understand.
yeah.
What is gonna happen, or what, I mean, maybe it's premature to ask you to cross that bridge before it's necessary,
Mm.
but I mean, I think, like, if I think you're a stock on the rise, right? If I could invest, I would,
Mhm.
if you were a stock, I would say,
Mhm.
buy this stock. This stock is on the rise. I think you're gonna be, very well known, very successful. You probably are already well known in parts
Oh.
of the internet I
Mhm.
don't follow. But the fact that the algorithm served you up to me is
Mhm.
really interesting. Like, the algorithm thinks you're a stock
Mhm.
on the rise. So
Mhm.
all that being said, Hollywood, or whatever the equivalent of Hollywood is for musicians, is likely to come calling. What have you thought about what you're going to do? Or, do you feel like you're just strong enough and knowledgeable enough to, hire your own lawyers to review your own contract and make sure
Yeah. Mhm.
you want?
Well, yeah, let's see. Honestly, what's really cool about my situation is I've got really amazing parents, and they have been helping me kind of navigate that kind of like concept.
Uh-huh.
They're counselors, both of them, which is super helpful. So they have a lot of insight into certain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I've had a few experiences already where I've had, I guess like important people kind of reach out to me and want to collaborate and do that sort of thing, which is really
That's
fun. And I'm super
cool.
excited
Yeah.
about it. Yeah. But for me, I'm really open to different opportunities. Just mostly whatever kind of makes sense. You know what I mean? If I
Mhm.
can see it and it's like, oh, okay, that's not like a danger to me, or that will help me and them in the long run. So it's kind of a team effort.
Mhm.
Um, that's kind of mainly where I would keep my focus rather than like just signing away and be like, oh, well, I'm in a label now or whatever. So
Got
yeah,
it.
just kind of having insight into a specific situation is how I would look at it. Yeah.
Fascinating. And I'm so glad you've got a home team to advise you, because a lot of very talented people, I mean, it makes such a difference. My dad was a
Right.
writer,
Mhm.
and my
Mhm.
uncle was a writer. And so when, I was very, I don't know how old you are, but I'm guessing you're in your 20s, correct?
Yes, 24. Yay.
You're so young. So yeah, like, a lot of people get kind of discovered in a national or global way in their 20s, and
Mm.
with good, strong advisory team, I'm sure you will
Mhm.
all the information you need.
Mm.
Um, so, and it sounds like your parents are able to keep you
Mm.
very grounded, which
Yes,
is
yeah.
fantastic. So, are there other, how can I put this? The path that you've kind of laid out, which, again, I confess, I'm a total dinosaur, is new to me, right? To do
Mhm.
a whole, performance, world. I mean, I knew that bands were, and singers were, like, streaming music, and that
Mhm.
had disrupted, records and the record industry and whatever, the audio industry. What's it called? The music industry,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Mhm.
Using
Music
different
industry.
technology even, that's how. That's how
Mm,
old I am. But I didn't know that you could launch a whole major career direct to the audience on social
mm,
media, which is fantastic. I mean, I guess I should know it
mhm.
because people who are cooking influencers do it, people who are design influencers do it. Why shouldn't singers do it? Is the technology like mature enough so that you see other people that can see as role models succeeding in this way? Is that how?
Yeah. Mhm, that is definitely true. So, actually, one artist that, I used to watch, like, early on in her career, was Leve, and I saw her kind of take off through TikTok. One of her first songs, oh gosh, I'm trying to remember what the first one I saw was. I don't quite remember, but she was playing the cello, and I remember the video and everything being on TikTok, and I was like, "Oh, wow, that was really cool." Like, the way she formatted it and everything, and I
Yeah.
kind of watched her as we went along, and now she's got, like, deals in Hollywood and that sort of
Oh,
thing, but
wow.
she started off, like, connecting with her audience through TikTok and that sort of thing. So, kind of watching people like that, I was like, "Oh, I can do that similar thing in my, like, genre." And what was cool is she kind of actually honestly fits the genre that I would love to eventually, like, fully commit to. She's, like, the perfect in
But
between of, like,
yeah.
jazz, but also, like, contemporary sort of thing.
Oh, so I was gonna say, how would you describe the genre you eventually fully wanna commit to? Or doesn't it
Yeah,
exist yet?
mhm. Yeah, it's honestly some days I'm, like, not 100% sure what I'd call it because it's, like, an in between of a bunch of different things.
Right.
But I guess it'd be kind of like classical, jazz, contemporary music, I guess would be the broad term I could do. Yeah.
Gotcha. And really, I mean, one super exciting thing that I'm realizing listening to you is that in the past, a vocal artist especially, would have to choose a genre, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
there would be like alarm if they cross from
yeah.
country to pop or,
Mhm.
pop to country for that matter,
Right, right.
pop to Christian, right?
Mhm,
Um, or Christian to hip hop.
mhm,
But now with this like platform or this set of technologies, you really don't have to choose, do you? You can be
mhm.
whatever you are.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, that's what I absolutely love about it, because it's like, I'm able to dabble in so many different things, and just kinda have fun with my audience and kinda build a community, like, "Hey, guys, what do you want us to sing today?" You
Love
know?
it. Love it. That's so incredible. And it also would give a vocal artist such an intimate relationship with the audience as opposed to
Yes.
these faceless consumers buying
Mm.
your, you know,
Right, yeah.
light
Mhm.
up package. That's really special. So now can we talk a little bit about your delivery of your music? Like what is that
Yeah.
even called? This is kind of embarrassing for me because I'm in a territory where the language I am
Mhm.
no way skilled in. So I'm not even sure I'm using the right words, but
Oh,
you have this
you're
incredible,
okay.
thank you. You have this incredible delivery. And one reason I was so fascinated by your work is that I recognize literally your facial expressions from the great singers and even great movie stars of the 40s.
Mhm.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Is that,
Yeah.
what about your delivery?
Yeah, absolutely. So honestly, partly from that, I think opera really has a way to kind of like build those expressions. I'm not sure if those early artists had like opera influences or that sort of thing, but that's something that I really learned from studying opera is how to like express yourself in your face, but also simultaneously not pulling away from your vocals, if that makes sense. Like not sacrificing the quality
Mhm.
for a certain type of facial expression that you're trying to bring. But also a lot of artists that I've also watched to kind of gain inspiration, from how they actually deliver to their audience would be artists like Nat King Cole. Oh my goodness, I love him so much. His voice and the way he sings is, like, so beautiful, and I would just listen to him and watch him, like, constantly, so that way I could kind of just learn what it was about his music that really drawed an audience to,
Mhm.
his sound, so, yeah.
And you think that the way he was literally using his face and his expressions
Mm.
helped communicate the music to the audience? Is that what
Oh,
you're saying?
yeah, absolutely, because partly I think, is when you, like, truly feel the things that you are actually, like, singing to your audience, you're able to convey that, and that kinda just naturally comes out, from your facial expressions and that sort of thing. So, when you're, like, in the moment singing it and me watching him sing it, I could tell, like, "Oh, yeah, he absolutely feels what he's saying right now." So, yeah.
Wow. So your facial expressions when you sing, and don't worry, everyone, you're watching live, but edited and produced version of this interview will also have the clips that Holly very kindly sent. And Holly, I believe you said you were willing to sing for us. Is that correct?
I could sing. I don't have any music on me, but I don't mind doing a cappella.
Well, I don't want to put you on the spot. Honestly, I've been racing through my emails, so I don't recall what you said when I said, "Will you sing?" If you're not, wanting to sing in this interview, that I would never want to put you on the spot, but we will be slotting in your clips and everyone can see you. So you decide while we're talking, okay? One way or another, either way is fine with us. But I do want to know more about how can I put it? I want to know why you think vocalists have stopped drawing on those beautiful facial expressions in their delivery that you use. Do you have a thought about that?
Yeah, I have thought about that occasionally. Some stuff that I learned in college, we would talk about those sort of things, like in hall and that sort of thing, which is like a class where everybody meets together. We kind of talk about different topics like that. Partly maybe some of it is like maybe over commercialized stuff. So things that are kind of like more about selling something rather than actually the art of the song. But yeah, I think to me that would probably take away from the facial expression when it's
Can you explain
no
what you
longer.
mean? I'm
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's okay.
Can you explain what you mean by selling something, like using the music or the song to sell something? Do you mean in an actual advertisement or in a video or?
No, I mean, like, maybe if they're, like, performing, but, they have certain people that they have to, like, please, if that makes sense.
Oh, I see.
So they're having yeah. Mhm.
So Kim Salva very rightly said, "What a sweet and refreshing interview." She's watching on
Mhm.
Facebook.
Aw.
I agree, so refreshing. And wait till you see these clips, everyone. This young artist, and Netislabi is awake at 12:53 a.m. in Japan. And greetings to you. There is this energy of like hopefulness, and I don't want to use words like purity and innocence because those are very problematic words, but like purity of soul, right? Like your
Yeah. Mhm.
intentions are, I feel, this could be totally wrong, but I feel like I wasn't surprised to read that in your bio, you're trying to uplift or, encourage people with your music because
Yeah.
literally I always feel better when I watch one of your clips.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Tell me more about how you feel you use your music to uplift or encourage people.
Yeah, absolutely. So, one thing about music that I find is that it can actually be a tool to kind of reach people on a very deep level.
Mhm.
And I think for me, whenever I go and I try to like write stuff, I try to make it so people have a moment to kind of like escape reality for a minute
Yeah,
and kind of live in the idea of whatever the song is talking about, even for just like a moment.
right.
It's something that I try to achieve in my music. So it's super helpful that I have counselors for parents because, a lot of times I have deep conversations with them about life, about how to achieve things, about how to do things.
Mhm.
So then I try to transfer that over into my own music whenever I write. And I'm like, okay, if somebody was in a certain like situation, like, and I'll just pull out of a hat, like, okay, maybe they're going through loss or something.
Right.
What would be the best way to help that person through
Oh,
music? So that way, in that moment when they're listening, if they need a release from reality for a minute, they
mhm,
can, at least for a moment, at least for 3 minutes and 30 seconds,
mhm.
escape that reality and kind of just, go through their own system and figure out how to heal and that sort of thing. So, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, it definitely comes through. So, back to this question about, why you think contemporary artists don't, and I know you're not trying to be critical of your fellow artists, I
Mhm.
respect that.
Yeah.
And I'm not asking you to be, but it's so, how can I put it? When one watches your performances,
Mm.
the cynicism, of the, contemporary performance, right, for a
Mhm.
lot of genres is very striking. Like you don't really have like let me I will be critical. I won't make you be critical.
Mhm.
I think Beyonce is an incredible artist and
Mm.
singer and dancer, but I don't feel a sense of her intention in her delivery to uplift, inspire, heal, you
Mm,
know,
mhm,
um, love,
mhm,
enlighten, ease the pain of people.
mm,
Uh, some artists have that. I mean, but I think they have a very tough time in the machine that is the music industry. I'm thinking of Sinead O'Connor, right? Who
mm,
I don't I wouldn't necessarily say her intention was to heal people, but she was so honest with her delivery and
uh-huh,
so raw, and that didn't I don't think that fit the
mm,
little slot that she was being slotted into. And I think, by the way, female artists are particularly vulnerable to being
mhm,
slotted into slots.
mm,
Do you
yeah.
want to respond to that? Do you agree, disagree? I mean,
Yeah,
you don't have to respond to specific artists, but
mhm.
um, that conundrum.
Yeah. No, I definitely think that is the case. I feel like, one thing with the industry that is super important not to kind of lose, is that sense of genuineness between the artist and the people, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, the ultimate hope, at least for me as an artist, is to be able to connect with people and be able to help people where I can, you know what I mean? It's almost like community service in a way. Like, as a musician, my hope is to help people. So, I can't speak for other artists and what their intentions are with that, but, I think it's important at the end of the day that
Yes.
every artist asks themselves, like, "Yeah, am I doing, this art for a purpose that is more than myself?" So, yeah.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And that's, by the way, how I was trained as a writer. It
Yeah, mhm,
really doesn't matter what the industry says to you about your work. The goal is to, I mean, my dad used to say, all you need is one reader, one ideal reader.
that's
It doesn't
good,
matter
yeah,
if you're a bestseller, it doesn't matter. And that
mhm.
ideal reader can be in your in your mind,
Mhm,
but that you have to be completely giving your all to that
mm,
reader, you know,
yeah,
and to the audience, and
mm,
leaving nothing on the table. And that really, really comes through. Um, I can't help but ask, because you're a Christian artist.
mm,
I have been noticing, like, and I've been giving it a lot of thought,
mm,
straight out Satanism. Like, I used to think when people said,
mm,
"There's, devil worship in the music
mm,
industry," I'm like, "Right,
mhm,
you're a person." But now it's so in your face, it's so obvious, and I feel
mm,
like, knowing kind of the world of influential people to the extent that I did before I got kicked out of it,
mhm,
they don't do things for no reason. So it's really the
mm,
Satanism, that imagery in so many videos, that to the
yeah,
point where I can't even. I'll listen to a song I really like Doja Cat. I really
mhm,
liked it, and then I saw the video, like her latest. She's a devil, and then I saw the video, and it's like straight up demonic energies here.
mhm, mhm,
So I guess where I'm going with that is, it seems like the people putting these, rituals, really, these musical rituals together, really seem pretty intent on creating satanic imagery. Um,
mm,
and that's why I'm so glad that artists have another way, that they can
mhm,
build an audience rather than going through that funnel.
mhm,
Have you thought about that? If, I don't
mm.
wanna push you into talking about something that you haven't thought about, or you don't wanna talk about, but I would just wonder what you think about the imagery coming out of the music world in that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I haven't put too much thought into that sort of thing because it's not really, like, where I'm at as an
Mhm.
artist.
Yeah.
But I have thought about if I was, like, in a situation where I was working with other artists and that was kind of like the focal point, what would I do in that sort of situation?
Mhm.
But, for me, as long as I'm kind of, like, looking ahead and I'm staying true to what I know is true about myself and my beliefs, then I won't really put myself in a situation to kind of, like, collaborate with those people, if that makes sense. Because
Mhm.
at the end of the day, as long as everybody is trying to do something that is, like, good, for people and for humanity,
Right.
then it's okay. But if it goes into something that's, like, some ulterior motive trying to, like, convince people of something that's, like, dark or something, then, everything starts to kind of, like, lean, and when you feel like there's something
Mm.
leaning, like, maybe that's not good, kinda listening to that inner voice for me, is how I would kind of like plan on like making decisions about if I were to work with people who are kind of in that department. Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Mm.
Do you think music can like lead people's, I don't know, souls or consciousnesses either to a higher or lower plane?
Mhm. Well, for me, I definitely feel like music can absolutely reach people on a very, very deep level. I've experienced it myself, and I've also experienced others who've talked about that. I know there's things like music therapy, which my dad and I do a podcast kind of about that sort of thing,
Oh,
talking about
really?
yeah, how music therapy is super helpful and reaches people on a very deep level.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like, any sort of media that anybody consumes can absolutely kind of sway your thinking and that sort of thing. So it's important to like be careful with the kind of media that you're consuming. But yeah, no, I definitely feel like music can reach people on a deep level. So yeah.
Clearly. Well, you've been so very generous with your time. We
Mhm.
we want to be mindful of time because we've got a bunch of wonderful clips that we will insert. But now that
Yeah.
you've had a little bit of time to think about it, not to put you on the spot, do
Mhm.
you want to share a little a cappella
Sure,
number?
absolutely. Actually, funny enough, I do have, I don't know if it'll be able to pick it up on the computer, but I do have a track on my phone, which is useful,
Oh,
and I could
fantastic.
play that in the background. Let's see. Um,
You are a true performer, always,
yeah.
always ready, even when put put on the spot a bit. Take your time, and I'll tell other people more about, while you're getting set up, more about why I think Holly Dayle is so special. Um, well, you've heard about her, beautiful temperament and orientation to her music, and you've heard about her classical training, her voice training. Um, but I think that you will find, what she said about music, either uplifting you or not. I really encourage you to listen to her clips online, and you can go to info@hollydalemusic.com. Is that
Mhm. Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Wonderful. And you can listen to the tracks for yourself, and you can, I believe, order, um, download, pay for, her finished, beautifully produced songs. And you can also subscribe to her on X,
Mhm.
and she'll tell you where and how after she's done with what we're about to get, which is a very, very special performance. But I think you'll also find that some artists are just more than their work and more than their
Yeah.
technical talent. And
Mhm.
she really has this quality that I've seen in really great artists of putting her whole kind of soul and intention and heart into her technical skills, and the technical skills amplifying that. So that's something that in my experience is very, very rare. As I said, I am musically illiterate, but I recognize great art and I
Mhm.
recognize a great artist. So that's why I'm
Oh,
very
yay.
excited to Holly Dayle. So go ahead, Ms. Dale.
All right. So let's see. I think today we are going to do So This Is Love from Cinderella. This was honestly one of my all-time favorites. This song is super pretty, and my audience knows I like to sing this song a lot. So yeah, go ahead and pull it. See if it's loud enough.
Everyone silence your phones.
So this is love. So this is love. So this is what makes life divine. I'm all aglow, and now I know the key to all heaven is mine. My heart has wings, and I can fly. I'll touch every star in the sky. So this is the miracle that I've been dreaming of. Mm. So this is love. There we go. That was so. This
Oh
is
my God, that was so beautiful. You're getting wow from Stephen Jones, clapping hands from Stephen Jones, pink and purple hearts from El Maldonado. I
Yay!
am blown away. As amazing as it is to hear your clips, hearing you live is just
Yay!
incredible. I can't even get over it. Do you see, everyone, why I had to have this young artist on this show? Oh my gosh, you are so talented.
Yay!
Oh,
Glad you liked it.
oh my gosh, everyone is thrilled. Holly, I've do you wanna do one more before we sign off? You
Sure,
know,
I can.
oh,
Yeah.
once we got going, she's ready. All right, everyone, I'm giving a big shout out to my live stream audience. You don't want to miss this incredible performer. She's gonna gift us with another song. Oh my god. So there was a little bit of, interference at the end. I think it could be the
Mm.
platform we're on.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
just letting you know. But everybody, if you loved what you heard, you can go to info@hollydalemusic.com and probably find it there or find equally beautiful music there.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. I have another one from Cinderella. I'll probably turn down the volume on this music, might help a little bit with the interference, I've learned. Okay, so here is "A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes."
Excited.
A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. In dreams you lose your heartaches. Whatever you wish for, you keep. Have faith in your dreams, and someday your rainbow will come smiling through. No matter how your heart is grieving, if you keep on believing, the dream that you wish will come true.
Oh, yay! Oh my gosh, and you're getting hearts from Kim Salvo. Goosebumps sounds so old school. Heart from Stephen
Mhm.
Jones, and Sean Rhodes says her style reminds me of Judy Garland and
Oh
of
my gosh, yes, Judy Garland, I love her so much.
me. Me too,
Mm.
I've gotta say. Oh my gosh, you've been so generous with your time. We've run out of time, everyone. Oh, I hate to let you go. This is one of the most special things that's ever happened on this show. You
Mhm.
guys, when Holly Dayle is a household name, even beyond where she is now, I hope you remember that you may have heard her first here on Outspoken. Holly, we're gonna let you go now, and partly because we're gonna slot in your amazing clips for the final produced version of this, and partly so I can thank our sponsors. But please tell everyone before you go, I just thank you so much for that incredible two gift. And
Absolutely.
tell everyone, please, where they can find more of your music and how they can support you.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, the biggest support for me right now is actually on X on my channel, Holly Dayle or Holly Dayle Music. On there, it's really awesome to get tips whenever I live stream. It's really sweet. It's like having like a little ticket entry into like the concert, you know what I mean? Which is super nice. And then also the subscribers on there are also super useful for me in my career. But also other places that you can find me is on my website at hollydalemusic.com. On there, I have all sorts of originals that you guys can purchase. As well as like awesome clothes and that sort of thing that I design on there too.
Oh, those are yours. Wow. Those
Yeah,
are
yeah. I design on the side as well.
Amazing. Uh,
So there's that, and then also pretty much any music streaming platform, I'm probably on there. But probably mostly things like, I guess, YouTube, and then also like Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, all that. So yeah.
Amazing. Well, we're so grateful to you. I'm going to say goodbye for now. But thank you so much for being willing to share
Absolutely.
your incredible gift with our audience. Thank
Yeah.
your parents for raising such an incredible artist. And like
Mm.
my view about parents and really gifted children is we all owe them a debt if they just don't ruin.
Right. Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
Not ruin a child with
Mhm.
like yours. So thank God for your parents and your family. And thank you, Holly Dale. And honestly, thank God for your gift, which is absolutely transformational. I'm so happy you shared it with us. I'm going to say goodbye to you now and I'll
Mhm.
stay on. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
absolutely. Bye, guys.
Bye. Oh my gosh, you guys, a real artist debuts. I mean, not to the world, but to me and my audience. I am so excited. Let me thank our wonderful sponsors. Uh, there is something you should know about the BRICS group of countries. They are determined to de-dollarize. And when they de-dollarize, it means that inflation, even with a new administration, is likely to be with us. And the best way to put a hedge around your savings is an IRA or a 401k that is dollar based from Birch Gold. Brian and I have opened our Birch Gold accounts. We're working with the wonderful team at Birch Gold to put as much as we can, bit by bit, month by month, into our Birch Gold savings. And we're so relieved that we did with the instability in the world. So you don't want to have all of your savings, especially if you are facing retirement, be dependent on a dollar that's so vulnerable to inflation and de-dollarization. A surge in prices can be beaten. A gold IRA from Birch Gold Group is the ultimate inflation hedge for your savings in uncertain times. So to see how to protect your IRA or 401k, get your free information kit on gold by texting the word daily clout to 989898. That also helps us, by the way. Birch Gold makes it seamless to roll over your retirement account while preserving your tax advantage status. Don't wait for the BRICS nations or for instability to tank the dollar further. Protect your financial future now. You'll be really glad you did, really relieved, like we are. Text Daily Clout to the number 989898 for your free information kit from Birch Gold. Also, I am so glad to have Native Path as a sponsor. I'm going to be interviewing Chad Walding later today, the CEO. And it's made such a difference in my own life, their products. Do you want to move easily and independently without pain or stiffness holding you back? You've got to discover Native Path Collagen, a collagen formula scientifically backed to increase bone mineral density, accelerate tissue recovery, reduce wrinkles, enhance hair thickness, and strengthen weak or damaged nails. Who wouldn't want more collagen with all these benefits? Native Path Collagen is a single ingredient formula with no fillers, additives, or artificial sweeteners, and it's third-party tested for heavy metals, making sure that it's pure and safe. Totally flavorless, Native Path Collagen can be added to anything. You can add it to coffee or smoothies or oatmeal, anything. Its peptide formula makes it bioavailable, meaning it's absorbed more easily and it mixes without clumping. It is not gross to drink. It's very easy to drink. The best part is that Native Path offers amazing bundle deals. You can get 3 or 6 packs at a fraction of the price of other brands. With over 4 million jars sold, 1 million happy customers, 8,000 5-star reviews, and a 365-day no-risk guarantee, our sponsors are the best. Native Path is a trusted choice. By the way, I told everyone on my 4-day train trip across the country that I was indoors eating nothing but processed foods and that I had aged 10 years. And I didn't even want to put up a photo because it was so scary. But I knew that once I got back on my usual regimen, I could undo that damage, and that collagen every day is a huge part of my everyday regimen, and not just about skin and hair and nails, but about movement. As you know, I limp when I don't take my native path collagen and do other things, because of a spinal injury. I'm not claiming that this will be true for you, but it's true for me that when I take my native path collagen, it's a measurable difference. I don't have back pain. I move much more easily. I'm much more flexible, and my mobility is, so dramatically improved. So go to getnativepath.com/daily clout. You can stock up on Native Path Collagen for up to an incredible 45% off today, plus free shipping and the money back guarantee. Visit getnativepath.com/daily clout and start your journey today. And lastly, by optimizers. I get stressed out and I sometimes have trouble sleeping, but because of Bioptimizer's magnesium, I always know what to do. 4 out of 5 Americans are not getting enough magnesium. And as a result, they're not getting the deep sleep that lets their bodies heal and maintain their vitality. When I don't take my Bioptimizer's magnesium, I can take a long time to fall asleep and get into this like stressed out ruminative state, and that'll leave me exhausted and cranky the next day. But Magnesium Breakthrough always works to put me into a deep and restful sleep. Once I started taking it, my sleep totally changed. Now I have no problem falling asleep and waking up energized, wonderful dreams, by the way, and refreshed. It is better than other magnesium supplements because others give you maybe 1 or 2 forms of magnesium, but Magnesium Breakthrough contains all 7 forms of magnesium designed to help calm your mind, help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake refreshed. So don't miss out on the most relaxing sleep ever with Magnesium Breakthrough. And by the way, so much science now, so many scientific studies show that deep sleep is vital for healing and detoxing and all of the processes your body needs to stay youthful and energetic, and in a good mood. For an exclusive offer, go to dailyclout.com and Magnesium Breakthrough, and use the code DailyClout during checkout to save 10%. And if you subscribe, you'll also get amazing discounts. That's me. And again, go to dailyclout.com and you will see the Bioptimizers ad there, and click right into it and you will get your discount. And we are so happy to have you. And Sean Rhodes says, thank you for having her on. And Thomas Johnson says, you were sane and turned crazy. So the world is full of trolls and bots and cancel culture. But we here at Daily Clout and Outspoken are going to continue to bring you real journalism, real essays, real legislative, socially sharing software products that let you see and share the news, like legisector.com, our incredible new software product that lets you see and share the legislation from any one of 24 industries. And we're going to share uplifting artists and music and culture like what you just heard here, because we're not going to give in to the negativity. Thank you all. Support us on dailyclout.com. Support and subscribe. And over on Substack, support me and us at outspoken.com, and watch this clip in the next 2 days or so, and you will see all of Holly Dayle's amazing clips that she sent us. Watch this episode again, and you will see her beautiful clips. Thank you all.